Hey all, and welcome back to Fuzzy Dirty Gaming, and a quick new video on the channel going over how I find my Legion jewels for my builds each league, because there it seems to be a lot of confusion about how Legion jewels work, and I get a lot of people messaging me saying I can't find the exact jewel you've got, it's not for sale, or I bought a Lethal Pride and it doesn't have all the mods that you've got. So I'm going to explain, firstly, how you find out what jewels have got the mods that you need, and then how you search them. Now there are probably quicker and more efficient ways of doing it, but I wanted to use a method that just used Path of Building and the official trade site. So all you need for this to work is Path of Building and your build plugged into it. What we're going to do is we're going to look for a Legion jewel in this jewel socket here. So firstly, I'm just going to get rid of the Legion jewel I've currently got. So this is the jewel socket I want my Legion jewel in. So you need to know firstly what type of Legion jewel you need. If you're using it to change a keystone, so let's say I took Acrobatics and I add my Legion jewel back in, that changes this keystone to Strength of Blood. That only matters in terms of who conquers the jewel. You only need to worry about the conqueror if you want to change a keystone, and I don't, so it's not a problem. So we'll take that jewel out again, go back to find Legion jewel. So we want a Lethal Pride. As I said, because we don't need to change a keystone, we can take any of these. So just take any of them, it doesn't matter, we'll do Koan. Then on jewel socket, you're going to pick the jewel socket you want to put the Legion jewel in, and it shows you pictures where the jewel socket is just to help. So we want to go Wind Dancer. Now this node here, filter nodes, is super important. If you tick this, it will only look for the mods you want on the passives you've got selected on the tree. If you untick it and search for mods, it will show mods that you don't have selected, but it appears within the radius of the Lethal Pride jewel. And then all you're doing is adding the nodes that you want. So I've added here Intimidate and Double Damage. So you can see we've got Intimidate here, and then if you wanted to add Double Damage, it's Double Damage. They're the two that I'm looking for on my League Start build. Then what you're going to do, if you want both of them to show up, these will start as a 0 here. And what it will do is show you any combination where any of these mods are on it, but we want both of them. If you put 1 in here instead of 0, it's basically saying it has to have these mods on it. So it's only going to bring back jewels that fit my skill tree that I've got Intimidate and Double Damage on, and you press in search. Now you can filter by loads of different things. It doesn't really matter, because if you search combined DPS, it's going to probably bring up the jewel that's going to be the most expensive, 3 Double Damage and Intimidate. If that jewel's even available, it's going to be crazy expensive. So at League Start, if we take my Rain of Arrows build as an example, I can have any of these ones that have got 1 of each. Now, making this video very close to the end of the league. So there is a chance that these aren't available. There's also a chance that people have just got them dumped in a 3 or 5 Divine tab because they've been farming Legion. If the jewels don't sell, they might just dump them, assuming they're not worthwhile. So once you've got your seed number here, which is the important thing, you're going to go back into Path of Exile trade. So then you're going to go onto trade, Lethal Pride jewel, and just press search. First option that comes up, click this magnifying glass. So what this will do is bring up that specific jewel, which is conquered by Koan. Now what we need to do is put in the other conquerors, because we don't care about that. We can use any of them. So these are the 3 for Lethal Pride. If you're not sure what they are, it tells you in Path of Building here. Koan, Rakiata, and Okoye. So we're going to go back into the trade site. This minimum and maximum is that seed number that you've seen here. And you don't want to search with ranges because you don't know what the other numbers do. So 16863 is the exact number we want. So 16863. And this needs to go in all of these, because you don't want it to be any higher or any less than this exact number. And it can be any of these 3 warriors. Now, if you search now, it's not going to return any results because it thinks you want all of these. So the last thing you need to do, click this pen here and click count and 1. What this is going to do is just bring up any of these that are a hit rather than all 3 of them. And then we'll press search. So there are no Legion jewels matching that number. So you just go down to the next one, 13323. It's a manual process, but this is the way I've found my Legion jewels every league. And it might take me 15 minutes to find them. The main frustrating thing about these Legion jewels is when you find one and the person doesn't respond, and you might have taken 10 minutes to find a Legion jewel. So there we've searched and one's come up. And as expected, it's sitting most possibly in a 3 Divine dump tab. At the beginning of the league, I've picked these up consistently for less than 1 Divine if I'm just looking for 1 Double Damage and 1 Intimidate. I personally would pay up to 2 Divines for these jewels. And this is all you're going to do when you're searching your Lethal Pride jewels. You get your seed numbers, that you need, you search, you get the jewel. You can then copy the jewel. You can add it to path of building, just copy and paste, add to build, and then you can put it into your jewel socket, and then my DPS goes up. And now I've got my Legion jewel with all the strength and my double damage and my intimidate mod. So all you need to do at that point is you direct whisper the person in game, hope that he's there, go to his hideout and buy the jewel. That's kind of it. That's all there is to it. It's a very simple process, but it can take a long time. Now, as I said, there are other ways to do it, and I'd love people to share the ways they find their Legion jewels, because I'm probably using a really archaic method when there's a super, super quick way of doing it. But I don't think there's a really, really streamlined, automated way of doing it, because then Legion jewels just wouldn't be on the market. They'd get snapped up as soon as a decent one comes on the market. Normally, you will have people that know a specific number for a jewel they want, and they will live search it in the first few days of the league. As soon as it comes up, they're instantly snapping that jewel up. But for ones that are just one intimidate and one double damage, no one is going to live search for a specific jewel for that. So you've got a good chance of picking it up. I hope this video has helped people out. That's it. Very quick one. Thanks for watching. Take care and see you in the next one.